Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Another episode of Trash Talk. I'm Damian Hill. With me, as always, is TJ O'Connor. Tonight, we have a special episode of Trash Talk for you where we have two guests from the same team, Alfonso Bell and Rodney Nash. How are you doing tonight, Rodney?
I'm good.
And how are you doing tonight, Alfonso?
All is well, baby.
Hell yes. I'm glad to hear it. Now, I guess what we're here to talk about today is the fact that you guys were both scheduled to fight or both looking for a fight on a card that got rescheduled multiple times already.
Yeah.
But before we do get into that, I do got to list off the sponsors. Trash Talk is brought to you again by Valhalla Combat Sports Incorporated, Ink Shrinks Tattoo out of New Brighton, Minnesota, Spartan Martial Arts, The Striking Institute, James Clark Sports Psychology and Hypnosis Therapy, The Fighters, and TJ's mom. Now, when the quarantine was first announced, how did it affect you, Alfonso, when you had first heard about it and found out that you weren't going to be fighting?
Well, of course, with my long layoff, I was kind of disappointed, but you know, as of now, I've been going with the norm and just been sharpening up my skills and staying at it, and just running cardio. It's never too much to get better. So, it kind of sucked, but hey, I'll deal with it.
Yeah. Well, since you did mention it, the layoff that you already had, and you were starting to look to get back into MMA, but I mean, with the layoff that you had already had, and now everybody else being forced to take some time off from training and fighting, do you feel like that gives you a little bit of an edge when you finally do get your first fight back? And have you even thought about it?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this is the moment of opportunity, for all underdogs. I know other people have opinions of myself, but as I view myself as an underdog. I like being an underdog, per se. I just feel like everyone who's been counted out or at that bottom pole or whatnot, I feel like this is the opportunity to capitalize on that and catch people while they're sleeping.
Oh, hell yeah. I love what you just said. And Rodney, I guess kind of the same question for you, and or do you have a reply to what Alfonso just said?
Oh, he made a great point there. I haven't been training like super hard. I've been doing a few workouts before work, but I've been working a shit ton for the most part. Oh, I can't hear you.
Sorry. What do you do again?
So I work with adults with disabilities.
Yeah. Oh man, I guess what is the hours been like for you? Because I mean, it's not like I guess how is it set up?
So like normally like I work at a different location before the quarantine, and like my hours would be like 8 to 4. But now it like changes day to day. Like some days it's like 10 to 6, some days it's like 6 to 4. It just changes every day.
So I mean, it probably has put a strain on your training. I mean, especially with the gyms being closed already anyway. It's not like there's a 24-hour fitness place that you can just go to at any time too.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a different situation. And Alfonso, coming up to the original date of April 26th, you were set and locked in for that card. When it first got postponed from April and there was a tentative date looking at June, what was there? Did you pull back a little bit knowing that you had additional time, or did you keep ramping through preparing for that fight in June?
To be honest, I not let up. I really didn't. I have a regimen that I stick by, and one thing that I learned from Mr. Anderson is you always want to be able to answer that call at any given moment. So I always stay kind of ready. I do cardio because it's been times where you know, when I first started with ironworks, I've missed out on opportunities because I wasn't doing the things that I was doing, and I said I never let that happen to me again. I had an opportunity to fight in FA in South Dakota, and can't remember his name, but his last name is Lance. I had an opportunity in Dakota, and I really kicked myself in the face with that one because it was and I capitalized on. So I've always kept myself, like I said, at least 3 to 4 times a week. I run 3 miles. I run around UWI. It's a lot of kids around here, so I just use to keep myself ready. And, you know, wherever I can get a workout in, I'm doing push-ups, pull-ups. I do about 300 every other day, diamonds, wide, regular. We Mr. Push-ups, as Rodney would say.
Push-ups.
So,
Well, okay, so with you still pushing through, and I you know, staying ready and staying active, being ready for this fight whenever the quarantine does end. When it does, do you expect to have the same matchup? And the card to actually be at the same venue. This is one of the things that me and TJ had talked about on another episode, and I had also had some conversations with a few promoters, weren't interviews or anything, but they had seen what we were talking about, and we were talking about how hard it is to try to move a card already to another venue, and then when you have to change the date, keep it intact, keep all of the same fights intact, and especially when some fighters are fighting at a certain venue because of the location, and if the promotion has to change the venue, maybe there's certain fighters that only took the fight because of the venue, but it's still a great fight to see, and now they're not as interested anymore because they're not going to sell tickets and things like that. I mean, it's a rabbit hole. We could go down all of it if we wanted to, but we're not. Yeah. But do you think you're going to fight the same opponent, and do you think that any of those circumstances are going to play into effect if the opponent does change?
at this point, to be honest with you, Damien and TJ, I'm at a point in my life where I've really taken advantage of this little shutdown or whatnot. I really caught my mental up with, and I know for some people it may be hard to believe. They like, look at you, yada, yada, yada. But I really had a fragile mental. You know, I was more afraid of my opponent than they were of me. You know what I'm saying? So I really caught my mental up, and at this point, I'm like, game the fuck on. Let's go. And I'm just ready. I'm ready to, like, real. Either you gonna knock me out or I'm gonna knock you out. And I'm not holding back anymore. I feel like a lot of my fights, I took damage where I didn't have to. And like the damage that I've taken, it really didn't hurt. Yeah. I'm just sitting there doing, you know, like, you know, when we doing training camps and stuff like that, I'm just like, dang, I just sat there. And that maybe it's because I was gassed, or it could have been a variety of other things. But I can honestly say I've never, in my MMA amateur career, I have never got hurt by anybody like, oh, shit, I don't want to get hit. I just, you know, I gave up. Focus wasn't there. And now, with me, I feel like I'm more dangerous because I'm believing in myself. I really am. I really am. And I'm going to take your fucking head off. You know what I'm saying? And not being like some brute, but I want to mix it up. I don't want to be one-dimensional. I want to go there with people. I want to be challenged. My wrestling, I've had almost 2 years of just nonstop wrestling. I got to give a shout out to Gary Conkle. Yep. This man has been on me like constantly for cardio. He's one of my best friends besides Rodney and Zach and Joel. So he's really giving me that fire and to believe in myself. And I'm just like, I'm game on. It's, you know, what they say, knuckle up, let's go, you know. So I actually got the mindset with it. So I'm actually anxious to see what I'm going to do in the cage without a care in the world. Because a lot of the times, you know, fighters do put off that mental, like, what if he knocks me out? What if I get knocked out in front of all my family? Yada yada yada. But I'm really ready. I'm ready.
Yeah. So basically, an opponent change doesn't wear you at all. You're not worried about that. The venue change, the opponent change. You're just ready to fight. I love it.
Yeah.
And Rodney, I guess with that being said too, when you were looking for a fight, not when the card was actually first announced, but when it did get rescheduled, I had saw that you were throwing your name in the hat. You were trying to get a fight. They didn't actually have an opponent for you, and it kind of just what Alfonso was saying kind of reminded me just of that situation. You were just looking for anybody. You didn't have a name on a paper yet. When the quarantine, or I guess the next Three Rivers card, they rescheduled it again till September. Are you looking to get on that card, and do you care who the opponent is?
I mean, I would like to kickbox if they could find me a kickboxing fight, but doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
He's a beast. I fucking love him, man. He and like for real. No pun intended, but you look at Rodney, you just be like, man, all right, you know, you kind of wave him off, but this guy is a go-getter, bro. He's a go-getter, and the stuff that he pulls off, I just be like, for real, I'm a fan first off, not.
Oh, he's frozen again.
It's frozen on my end too. I'm just gonna it because just kind of what Alfonso was saying, like at least from my perspective, it just seems like when you do fight, it seems like you're a guy who's out there displaying an art form, you know, and you're an artist, you know. It's one of those things that I feel just off of my experience, off of training and fighting and all the people that I know that kind of put technique together the way that you do. There's a lot of film study that goes into a lot of that. Have you done a lot of film study? Do you watch fights often? Do you break them down in your mind? Things like that?
I actually don't. I don't watch too many fights. I'll watch them here, like in person and stuff like that, but I don't watch too many like on TV or anything like that. Every once in a while I will.
Man, it's okay. So how do you feel like you picked up the understanding? Because you seen the video that I had made highlighting your last kickboxing match for Three Rivers, and man, I'm just like, there's a lot of technique. You're so calm, so comfortable. It's like you know what's there. Where did you pick that up from? Like, I mean, what do you attribute that to? Is it the type of training that you do? Because I was kind of thinking that it had to be something with a lot of film study. You get used to seeing people fight from the outside and then used to seeing it from the inside, and you can kind of predict things. But how have you built that?
Just I guess a lot of hours in the gym, you know, just practicing, doing different movements, sparring, and I just kind of like pick up on like the way that people move, and that just kind of helps me in the cage, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does, and it's just one of those things. Like I am just a fight fan in general, and I admire technique. And one of the things that I feel like a lot of people don't realize is a real technique is being comfortable inside the cage or being comfortable inside the ring, knowing how to bounce around, and I guess knowing when to pick the shots, when to throw power, when to throw speed, because you were throwing a lot of shots that were kind of just landing really quick, not a whole lot of power, and then boom, there's the one with the power, and it's like you're setting all that stuff up, and it's just, I don't know, I respect the art form.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, I mean 100%. As a fan, watching you fight, and Alfonso was saying it as well. I mean, you always know what kind of fight you're going to expect. A gritty type of a war fight. I mean, always willing to bite down and throw when necessary, but the shots are coming in smooth. You kind of talked about your layoff, and Damian mentioned you're looking at getting back to it. With Wisconsin easing a lot of restrictions, especially compared to the current status in Minnesota, are you thinking, one, that shows could be getting going sooner, maybe in Wisconsin, and two, when are you looking to fight, if possible?
I am not sure about like when like venues will be able to start going again. Like everything's still kind of up in the air here. Like everything's open now, but I'm not sure where it'll be in like a week or two.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like if everything's up and going and like I can get like back into a decent shape, I'd like to fight in September. Like, probably just kickboxing, but otherwise, I might try and shoot for like a boxing fight a little bit later in the year.
How active is the boxing scene in Wisconsin? Because me and TJ were talking to you about it a little bit off camera, but I mean, once you kind of get into it, it seems like there's opportunities to fight every other weekend.
I'm not sure how like big it is around here, but I like in the cities, I know that there's a good amount up there, so that's probably where I'd go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Where are you guys actually located right now? Not located. I know where the gym is. What city do you live in?
I live in lacrosse.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. So, crap. I had a question. I'm blanking. Um,
I'll save it. Alfonso, are you back, sir?
I think he keeps.
Ah,
He's almost there.
I thought he was back.
Hey, Alfonso, try hanging up and joining the call again and see if that helps just reset it. It usually does the trick, but that's if you can even hear me, because I don't even know if you can.
Yeah, it gets rough sometimes. But I mean, while we still have you here, Rodney, one of the things I found interesting you said there is you don't watch a lot of fights. And I mean, I feel like we've talked about this before. What was the initial transition into competing yourself if you weren't necessarily watching all the fights beforehand?
So I like grew up wrestling with my little brother, and my cousin Zach, and then about like 7, 8 years ago, I like kind of just decided to check out one of the gyms here in lacrosse, and then just kind of fell in love with the sport.
That's awesome.
I got my ass kicked a lot for like the first 2 years. That part kind of sucks, but
Oh,
I didn't hear you there.
oh, I'm sorry. I said that's always one of the funnest parts is getting your ass kicked, realizing that you still want to do it, and then learning how to not get your ass kicked. And then somewhere along the lines, you start to learn how to whoop other people's asses while not. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like that game changer. That day the day you realize you're sitting there and you're in the back, you're like, oh, I'm not getting tapped out anymore. Well, as much, and then that day is good. But the day you're riding home in your car, you realize, wait, I'm tapping people out now. I mean, it's definitely it puts it in perspective.
Yeah, that took probably like a year at least before I started catching people some submissions.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try to add Alfonso back because he might not actually know how to join the call. I just kind of thought of that. So it's calling him.
Oh, he's
Join.
in.
Oh, he's in. Let's see if he's in.
Back.
I heard. So I get okay. So TJ, just continue. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you weren't even talking, were you? I
No.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm high. Um, so while we're waiting for Alfonso to join us back or to load, I guess I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry, people watching and people listening. I thought I had all the glitches fixed, but I guess I don't. I'm still, like I said, professionally unprofessional. So we're the most unprofessional professionals you will ever meet, but we're still professionals. So I actually made 15 cents so far from Spotify.
Not bad.
So yeah. It's only it only took like
back.
yeah, there we go. It only took a year, but 15 cents, baby. I'm gonna frame that 15 cents too. I'm like, get it. I'm gonna get the nickel and the dime bronzed.
Got me one of those big Happy Gilmore checks for 15 cents. The check itself is worth more than the check.
Oh my God, was that on The Office? Where where he says, I thought we had $1,000 to give away. He's like, we did, but that's before we had the check. So the check was for like $674.
They hired a stripper to bring the check too. She dressed as a nurse.
Yeah.
Uh,
Have you ever watched? Oh, I said, have you ever seen The Office? Did you ever watch that show?
Obviously, I've seen glimpses of it. I know who in it and everything.
So
your mic was kind of cutting out a little bit, Damien.
I don't trust you when you say that, TJ.
You're cutting out a little bit.
I was trying to avoid saying it. I'm having headphone problems today, so that's why he didn't trust me.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just talking shit. So I guess with everything actually opening up back, or most of everything opening back in Wisconsin, do you guys see any sporting events being listed at least for the children? I know, Alfonso, you have kids. Do your kids play sports? Have you heard anything about signups or anything like that now that things are open?
Well, no, they're just doing everything day by day, baby steps. Everybody is very cautious at this time. So, I mean, we take it or give it. Give it. So, I mean, nothing has really changed. A lot of the restaurants and stores and, ventures, they're still closing early. They're not at their normal hours or whatnot. Even our gym, where they're closing. Our gym is 24 hours. So, I think everyone still has guidelines.
Okay. Yeah. And then Rodney, kind of the same to you except for having kids part.
I haven't seen anything for sporting events.
Okay. Like one of the things is I used to live in Wisconsin when I was a kid, and my mom used to go to this bar all the time as like her company, the company that she worked for, they had a softball team that she played for, and she would go out every once in a while and like they'd go to this one bar that had volleyball and volleyball tournaments and stuff like that, and then you could just get drunk and play, I guess. And I remember we'd always watch them do the stuff like that. Has any type of, because that's not necessarily live sporting events, but like recreational activities like that, has anything like that started up again?
I haven't seen anything. I have a few friends that do like the bar league volleyball and stuff like that, and I haven't heard anything.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of curious because I'm thinking about going to get my Wisconsin ID and move back. It's boring over here, man. But so now that restaurants and bars, things are starting to open again. You mentioned it earlier, Rodney. As of right now, they're not going. I mean, it's going on. Everything's open. If something does happen, like a case pops up of corona, do you see everything kind of getting shut down again and then even getting pushed back further maybe? I mean, is that something that you guys think about at all? I mean, the effects of that?
I could see it happening. Nothing's really changed too much here. We haven't had too much like of the virus here in La Crosse. So I don't really know what's going to happen, but if we get any more, I could see like stuff like not opening.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I'm still kind of skeptical and scared. Not necessarily of the virus, because I'm not going to get into all of that right now. But I'm just one of those people. I'm pro-choice. Like if I choose to get it, then I choose to get it. Like no. So
America.
That's what pro-choice is, right?
Yeah,
but
it's kind of an abortion term, but
Yeah.
but same to you, Alfonso. Is that a fear that set in, or is that something that you thought about if a case does pop up that everything gets shut down?
Can you run that question one more time?
Oh, I'm sorry. That if a case pops up of the corona while everything is open, are you afraid that might shut down and postpone everything even longer, like the gyms opening and fights?
Well, I mean, of course, it's a worry. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't think, haven't thought about it. But I mean, my whole thing that I've been doing is just like I said, I've just been staying ready. If it does, it does. But if I can control it, I know that I'm going to be ready.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about that. I'm used to it, with my layoff and how fights been jumping off on me. So I'm just here. That's about it. I'm ready.
I don't know. I'm kind of starting to run out of questions, and I feel like we touched on a lot of stuff, but crap, I did have more that I wanted to ask you, Rodney. You're blanking right now. Stop smoking weed, and I can undo the damage of all those punches I took. So, but I guess before we do start to wrap it up, when everything does finally get in the swing of things, everything does start to go back normal. You've had a pretty successful amateur career. I mean, you fought a lot of the toughest guys around, never backing down from anybody. Has the thought of going pro been on your mind at all? I mean, granted, it's probably not. I've been telling people that we're planning on going pro before the quarantine, maybe not go pro after it ends. But is that something that's been on your mind at all? I know you want to get some more amateur boxing experience in, but is how far down the road do you see that for yourself?
I'd like to get like a few amateur boxing fights, at least another kickboxing fight, and like a jiu-jitsu tournament or two before I go pro. But I think within the next year or so.
Yeah.
I guess Alfonso kind of the same thing too, but I don't want this to sound insulting at all. But the reason why I'm asking, one, your skill set and the age factor. You're a little bit older, the amateur side, and there's only a short time where a man can actually make some money in this game. Is that something that you've ever thought about, or are you in this game just because you have other goals that aren't on the financial end?
Okay. All right. Well, of course, with me being a little bit older in my amateur career, yeah, I do feel that I want to go pro, but right now it's no rush. Like one of my coaches, Ian, my jiu-jitsu coach Ian has always said, just have fun with it. For the time being, don't put all that pressure on you. So I'm having fun. Yes, pro is the option for me. Yes, I want to have like one more fight. You know, in my amateur career, then I'm gonna go pro just to remind everybody that I'm legit, I'm the truth. And I'm here. I'm here. Like I just want people to realize that I'm here. You're gonna knock me out. I'm gonna knock you out, and I'm not holding back anymore. And uh, yeah, I would love to turn pro and maybe see if I can get to that big. If it does come or if it doesn't, it's no matter to me. At the end of the day, I still got to take care of this family and these kids. So I'm fun. This is my outlet. This is my release. I'm not banking on it to change my life. So I think I have an advantage there. So I just want to, have fun with it, not add nothing ridiculous to my plate already.
Yeah.
So if it does, keep it there. It hits me there. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So, but I'm going to at the end of the day, I know I'm going to walk away and say, I mean, I had a wild ride and I'm having fun. So, but I'm a competitor at heart.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what it's all about, is getting what you love doing done. I mean, and you're doing it. And hell yeah, you're definitely your head is definitely on your shoulders and it's pointed in the right direction. I mean, oh, dude, I just love this game so much, and I love what everybody gets out of it from themselves, whether it's money, fame, bitches, what have you. I'm just glad that this provides everybody opportunity to get what they're looking for out, and if you want it, you will get it. It's just, I mean, it's so great. But before we start to wrap it up tonight, We do love to give everybody a platform, all of the fighters that we have on, all of the coaches, platform to shout out their sponsors, teammates, coaches, anybody outside of the gym that's been there for you guys, showing you guys extra support. Rodney, would you mind going first?
Shit. So my sponsor, Goldheart, Ironworks, my cousin Zach, my little brother Tommy, my sister Rachel, my family. That's about it.
Hey.
Alfonso?
Rico, Alfonso, the Juice.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I want to a huge shout out to my wife, my mom, my children. They are my biggest fans. I can honestly say that. And of course, Loudmouth Clothing Crew, my second family, Ironworks Training Center. You know, everybody that I love them to death. You know, we're all different, but we're on the same path. Uh, all my brothers, you know, that's on the fight team. You know, Rodney, Zach, Joe, Gary, you know, Lloyd, Albie, Sam, Garrett. You know, I want to give all of them a shout out, and Eric for all of them. And I can't forget my homie Ben also. But yeah, Loudmouth Closing Crew and Corona. That's all I got. You know, as far as sponsors, I'm still learning and getting the aspects of the game and everything. So you know, I'm baby stepping it around, and you know, if any other sponsors want to come at me, you know, hey, come on, you know. So
Future sponsors out there, send these two a message. These two will rep your brand, and you will never have two better guys, person-wise and fight-wise, go out there representing, help build you.
Right.
Stuff, TJ, fans listening and watching this video, like this video, subscribe to Trash Talk with Damien and TJ on YouTube. If you're not listening to this on YouTube, like, give whatever option, follow us, listen to us more, do that. And you guys have a good